bro. The thing is, like, the 40% tax makes it seem like, right, cool, you've got a good amount that you can start sharing 40%. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, 50,000, it needs to be relative with how the country is, and £50,000 for a lot of people, you're not even able to buy somewhere to live. Sometimes you might even struggle to rent somewhere. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's crazy.
And then when you really think about it, like, governments they're in a prime position to make pay.
Yeah.
They control stuff.
Yeah.
So you, like you said, you got trains. You have advertisement on there. You can innovate. You can work with corporate companies to leverage you don't need to make it from the people.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There are companies that want to sell to the people, that want to get access to the people. You have the people.
Yeah.
You should be having partnerships with corporate brands that want to allow yourself to make money from those brands that are already making money.
Yeah. And
then use that to make the country and the system and the software and everything better. Instead, you're trying to make all the money from the people, and we're suffering it.
It's crazy. Yo, my people, welcome back to the Bread and Butter podcast. You're here with myself, Tayo.
And myself, Eman.
And it's a pleasure to be in the building once again, giving you guys that food, that knowledge, that edutainment.
Edutainment. I love
edutainment.
that.
Get me? You guys every week we hope to inspire you with conversations that can be beneficial to you, but you also get to be a fly on the wall, hear two jokes.
Come on.
Get insight to our lives, our relationships,
yeah,
and so on and so forth. So hope you've been enjoying it. And if it's your first time here, make sure you lock in, make sure you subscribe, and follow us on the journey, man.
Yeah, man. It's good to have you back, man. Good to see you. It's been a while, obviously. Man like travels, man's all over the place.
Yeah, man. I've been out of town.
How do you find it though? How do you enjoy having? Because I'm guessing the different countries that you're going to and traveling from and coming. Do you feel like you're a different person in different countries? Do you feel like you get to do different things, or do you look forward to just leaving one environment, going to another? Is it like how sometimes you'll be in your bedroom and then like you go to the living room for like?
That's a sick analogy. It's exactly like that to a certain extent. I've been, for the majority of the year, I've just been in the UK and Dubai, right? Dubai feels a lot lighter somehow. It doesn't feel heavy.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of like people and things. I say people and things, so people doing well, but also the country is very aspirational in like the projects that they want to do as well.
Yeah.
So that's around you as well. So it almost encourages you to kind of like work harder as well, basically.
Yeah.
The UK is very, very familiar.
Yeah.
But the weather makes a big difference as well. It's like the 2 times I've been in the UK this year, one was really, really cold. One was a lot warmer, and the warmer one is like, it feels great. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But I think that the environments are a lot different, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just part and parcel, man.
No,
it's just part and parcel. The traveling thing is okay as well.
Yeah.
I think if you just pick the right times.
Yeah.
So just something that you know that you're gonna get a decent amount of sleep on.
Yes. What are you? A morning flight, evening flight?
So I typically take a morning flight, or a night flight. So when I go back, I'll fly at like 9 something and then arrive at like 8 a.m. or something like that, basically.
Okay.
Then when I come, I normally try and fly out about 6:30, but it means that I land in the UK about 12 or something like that.
Okay.
So they're not too bad, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, man, it's been cool.
No,
it's been cool.
I love that. So it's good to have you back, bro. I was just a few weeks ago, man was at an event, bro. Yeah. Big up Hannah, who's been on the podcast. Make sure you check out her episode. She invited me to like the Wealth Report, Knight Frank.
Sick.
Wealth Report. If you don't know Hannah, who we had on, she's head, like partner for Knight Frank in HR. And so she invited me to the event. Bro, I've gone to the event, and when I talk about being in the right rooms, bro, this is different. So gone in there. Obviously, I've seen Raphael, you know, who again been on the pod.
Yeah.
Mr. Black Business Show. So saw Raph, saw some other people as well. Sarah Stevens, who we need to get on here actually.
Yeah.
Saw Sarah there. So yeah. And then so then we sat down, bro. When I sat down, the gentleman I sat next to, like, he runs a private office. So a private office, for those that don't know, is basically when a wealthy family or wealthy individuals have money, and basically they then have people that invest their money for them.
Yeah.
So he heads up the property side of their private office.
Yeah.
So all their property deals, buying, selling, both here in America, in the Middle East, he heads up that and get stuff done for them. And so, because again, wealthy people, even though I've got the money, I understand the value of having an expert.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Say that again. Say that again.
No, because so the whole point of a private office is that these people have stupid amounts of money.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking millions. Like, these men have hundreds of millions. These men are extremely wealthy, and for them, they understand that although I have the money, I could go and do this myself.
Yeah.
But I understand the importance of having someone who's expertise,
Yeah.
someone who does this, who's on the ground, who understands the ins and outs, that does this every day, that growing up doing that. Because actually, the way I made my money wasn't doing property.
Yeah.
So why would I make my money in business, like running a business, and then feel like, okay, I can now, because I know how to run a business, I know how to manage a property portfolio, or how to buy and sell the best properties.
It's a different business, and sometimes you get pulled. Sometimes it can ruin everything that you built as well.
Yeah, you can lose all your money.
It's a whole different business. It's a whole different
skill.
Yeah.
And different network, and the person that he's hired has been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Built up those relationships, seen the ups and downs, seen the problems. So now you can get someone that can do that and do that efficiently, and you employ them. And yes, they have a cost, but the amount you're saving on things going right and wrong, and obviously their job is to make profit.
Yeah.
So if they're making profit, they're making you money. So it's weighing out the cost that is for having that expertise. So it's something that I think a lot of us need to understand. Like, success leaves clues.
Yes.
Like, success leaves clues. If there are really wealthy people who have money and they pay for a coach, or they pay for expertise, why am I, that wants to be rich like them, thinking I can do it different from them?
Even if you like take it away from that, anybody that's great at anything, they would have leveraged somebody else. Even if it's like a billionaire, they might have a life coach, or a football player has a goalkeeper has a goalkeeping coach, or whatever it is. Basically, you always got someone that you can lean on who's an expert at teaching you to be better. Basically,
come on.
So it's super, super important.
You look at it like I look at, my favorite athletes when I think about them, like, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, even LeBron James now. Like, these are people, if you see the teams around them, bro, when I see LeBron James, if you see him now at 40 years old, how he's playing, no one's ever seen him play basketball like that.
Bro, and it goes back to what you just said. Like, LeBron James has been playing basketball for over 20 years.
Yeah, well over.
So you could argue that he knows exactly what he needs to eat for his diet. But at the same time, he'll have a nutritionist, because LeBron James isn't up to date with exactly what happened last week, or this new fruit that can something. He understands that there's somebody who is dedicated to this, and I'm going to leverage their expertise and use that to better myself, basically.
And also, I can't think about it.
I need to think about basketball.
If I want to be the greatest for the longest, all my energy needs to go into being the best basketball player. Everything else that comes with being a great basketball player that other people can handle, let them handle. On the court, when it comes to doing even when he's got his workout, think about it, like you said, he's been doing it over 20-something years. He's still got trainers. He doesn't just train on it. He's still got someone that checks his training. Still got people. He still does his ice baths and all of this stuff. He's got it at home. He's still set up. He's playing at, bro, I don't know if you watch ball, but the way I've been watching this season, I'm just like, you could never tell me that.
You watch basketball?
I love basketball.
Bro, yeah, to be fair, I knew you loved basketball. I didn't know that you watch it. Bro, you do a lot of stuff.
YouTube is there, innit? YouTube will give me the game 11 minutes. Come watch the whole game, highlights in 11 minutes.
It chops up there.
Chops out. Because basketball's like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
It
chops out.
Chops it up. So I just watch it in 11 minutes. But it's one of them things that when I'm seeing what my man is doing at this age, it's crazy. It's crazy, but
it's those things.
But the thing is, he couldn't have said at 35, oh, now I'm gonna start eating right. This has been in the plan since he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
He's had to look after his body for it to be doing what it is now. The point is that it takes time.
Yeah.
Same with your investing. Same when it comes to building your property. Look at you now. Like, some people say, Bricks owns bare properties. Bro, it takes time. Man didn't own them all today, you know.
Yeah,
Man had to
facts.
buy the first property, then wait for a little while, leverage that, get the second one. Like, man had to. It took time to build it, but while you were building that, that was your focus. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when other people maybe were building ISAs, or when other people were getting promotions at work or doing other, you were focusing on building. Now you got your portfolio. Oh, I wish I had a portfolio. It doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like
Go
that.
back to the beginning.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. And you make a brilliant point, and I'm gonna be vulnerable and say that I'm somebody who struggled with that 5 years ago. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I was always drawn to, because I'm very, very hands-on, and I think it's the Niger in me, innit?
Yeah.
So all of these things, email marketing and all this, bro, I know how to do a bit of it all because I've tried to do it all myself. But it got to a point where I need to focus on the things that is my core business. Because the thing is, to anyone listening to this, and obviously sometimes you might bootstrap stuff to begin with, but if you're running a business, you need to understand that email marketing alone is a whole business. People have companies that employ hundreds of people and all they do is email marketing. So if you believe that you want to do that for your business for as long as your business grows, then look, success leaves clues. Once again, do you get what I'm trying to say? And I had to learn that in business as well. And even like specifically on the property stuff, like a lot of people might have heard of like supported living. And this is where I kind of changed, where it's kind of like, no, this is my business. So as you mentioned, I've got a few properties, right? And I know that supported living, it's a good cause. Looks after young people that may not have the opportunity to live somewhere otherwise. But it does do decent money as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like safeguarding and like CQC and all these bits and pieces that come into that business model. And I made a decision to say that isn't my business. My business is property.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to lease my property to supported living companies that are going to do good with the property, and they could do whatever they want with it. I'm not going to stretch into another business, because I went through a period where I was finding that I was being pulled from pillar to post, doing too much. And I remember speaking to you about it. It actually took me like a year to reduce everything I was doing and getting it back to like the core stuff. So it's super, super important.
It's so important. So I've got into this room now. And like I said, he's got a family office. So the first thing I introduce what I do. When you're in the right rooms, everybody knows why we're here. If you're in this room, you're doing something important.
Yeah.
And you're doing it at a high level.
Yeah.
Hence why you're getting this invite. So he says to me, he says he runs a family office. I say, yeah, I'm a financial advisor. He's like, okay, what do you look after? Because these days, everyone calls themselves a financial advisor. So then I was like, no, yeah, I do pensions, investments, onshore bonds, offshore bonds, insurance, wills, estates, all of these types of stuff. He's like, oh, I've been needing someone to sort out my pensions. Also, I need to sort out some of my mortgages. Because imagine he does this for other people, but he hasn't had the time to look at it for himself.
Yeah.
So he's like, I need someone to sort out my mortgages as well. I was like, listen, I've got the perfect broker for you that I work with. Also, I can get all your pensions, put them together, put them in a SIP, manage them for you going forward. No problem. Here's a number. Let's do that. Easiest client I ever picked up in my life because they're in the right room.
Yeah.
Now, before this, a few weeks ago, my boy, he's in Oman. He's in Oman. He teaches in a private school in Oman. And he came over a few weeks ago, and I was talking to him about, you know what, I'm thinking about going out to the Middle East in the future, and I want to do financial education. I want to teach financial, like how I do in schools here, but I want to do it abroad. And he was like, oh, yeah, you know, we could partner with our school and so forth. I was like, okay, cool. That sounds good. So I'm going to create a deck and build something and see what we can do. The person sitting next to the guy that I met, remember, to give you understand, there's probably 500 people in this room.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
If not more. A minimum of 500 people. There's table upon table. I've even done it, probably 800, to be honest. The room is massive. I'm on table 10. I've got a good table. I'm near the front. Good table. But I've gone to table 10, sat down, met this guy. The person sitting next to him is the minister for Oman.
Crazy.
And her job is about getting investment into Oman and also, you know, getting people to come to Oman. So she gives me her card and she's like, yeah, let's talk. Let's go for lunch.
Crazy.
What are the chances?
It's crazy.
This is just being in the right room.
Yeah.
So then the lady sitting next to her is a solicitor. She deals with a lot of property transactions for high net worth individuals, both here and in the Middle East. The person sitting next to her is the person that's hosting the table. He's the guy that heads up real estate for Knight Frank in the Middle East. Bro, I've just met them all.
Yeah.
Just coming for this. The importance of networking cannot be like
understated at all.
Bro, do you know? It's impossible for me. Remember, in this room, to give you a picture, out of that 800, there's probably only about 6 of us that are maybe 8 of us maximum that are black. The only other black people, as always, are the ones serving. And so, for me to network at this level with these people, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so, big up Hannah for introducing. She purposely went out of her way, and this is again when you're in powers of position, what are you doing with it?
Yeah. She
purposely said they did this last year, and I was the only black person in the room.
So I made sure.
So I want to make sure that at least this time I'm gonna get some tickets because it's very people want to be in it.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to get to, but I'm gonna make sure as a partner, I'm gonna make sure that I get some tickets so I can invite some more people.
Yeah.
And come and then next year hopefully do and build it so there's more of us in these rooms hearing these conversations. So that was just the networking.
Yeah.
Bro, when we then went into the wealth report, bro, it just made me realize there is so much money on this planet.
Of course, in abundance.
And bro, when you see that the average age of a billionaire has come down, when you see that something silly like in the last year, there was thousands of people who did nothing and became millionaires. Like just from their wealth growing, just from the wealth that they had, they became millionaires.
Crazy.
And hundreds that did nothing and became billionaires. As in, they didn't do any new investments.
Yeah.
Just the value of what they own just naturally went up.
Yeah.
And made them either millionaires, multi-millionaires, or billionaires.
It's crazy.
And so when we're looking at it, when we're talking about in the Middle East, the different countries and what they're trying to bring over because they're trying to move away from the oil money. Our problem is not money. Our problem is that because we are here in the UK, we only think that we can sell whatever product or service the only problem that we can solve is here in the UK.
Yeah.
But there are problems all across this planet.
Absolutely.
And what we have to start doing is saying, what is the problem I can solve?
Yeah.
And where is it?
Yeah.
Where is it located that makes most sense? Because guess what? I'm a financial advisor and yes, I can solve a lot of problems here in the UK. But guess what? Now, because I was in that room, I went back, I spoke to some people in my network, and now I've got people in Nigeria that want to invest in the UK that now want to use me.
Sick.
All because I had a conversation.
Yeah.
But I only had that conversation because I was in that room to make me say, no. Is the stats, the research that they're telling me in this document real?
Yeah.
Let me go and test it because I know people that are in these spaces.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, yeah. And then had a conversation. And now I've got a whole new pipeline of high net worth clients that are going to be able to want to work with me.
Yeah.
Because I was in a room that opened my mind up to new possibilities.
Yeah. For the people that might be thinking to themselves that, do you know what? I know that there's opportunities all over the world. Like, what would you say? Have you got any tips for people of how to identify opportunities?
Yeah. I think what's really important is again, I don't wake up in the morning thinking about how much money am I going to make. I wake up in the morning thinking, whose problem can I solve?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Who can I help?
Or what problem do I have?
What problem am I having? What problem am I seeing?
That is not, what inefficiencies am I experiencing in my life and thinking, why hasn't anybody solved this yet?
And that's the best people, the people that solve. Look at Facebook. When you think about Facebook, it was a uni problem.
Yeah.
These men are trying to communicate with one another. And so man created a software for them to just be able to talk to one another at uni.
Yeah.
And now look, we're using it across the world.
Yeah.
Across the globe. And so again, when you really got to think about it, it's like actually, like even when you think about Apple, what's the problem? We had phones, we had computers,
we had camera.
They said
we had calendar.
How about we put all of it into one?
Yeah.
Now we got a smartphone.
Bro, I was watching a series the other day called Super Pumped. which is about Uber. And it's like, bro, like, why is it that it's so difficult to get a taxi sometimes?
Yeah.
How do we make it seamless? How do we make it seem like how can someone look at you and you just walk into a car and they think that you got a private driver or something?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to you don't even got to get your card out to pay and stuff like that. And yeah, problem solved.
Problem solved.
$1 billion business.
Exactly. And so, and it doesn't, and the thing is, I think sometimes, again, we're using examples that are massive, but it doesn't have to be on a huge scale. There are people that I know that are making big money. They got less than 2,000 followers.
Definitely.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Some even less than 1,000 followers.
Bro, sometimes less than 1,000 clients. It just depends on the product or
On
service.
the product that you're serving and the service that you're offering. And so I think sometimes we feel like it's so big. What I'm saying is that even if you don't know where are there places that are problems? Right now, we know the Middle East have a problem. Yeah? This is their problem. Their problem is that they have been reliant on oil money. As a world population, we're moving away. The oil's not running out. We're moving away from oil. So they've had to say, we need other industries.
Yeah.
We need to start creating other things, and we need to also create tourism and become. So what did they do? They made their airport. Do you know Dubai Airport is the most traveled airport in the world?
Yeah.
Done on purpose.
Yeah.
People stop there to connect to other places
Yeah.
all over. Because they always want people to touch Dubai. They always want people to touch, to feel like, oh, this ain't that far.
Yeah.
Oh, we can come here. Oh, actually, I've done a stayover. Why do a layover?
Yeah.
Why not extend my holiday and spend a few more days?
Yeah.
Oh, let me experience it. Because guess what? What do they then do? They have service. Wonderful buildings, wonderful service, peace. So now people, I need to be here more often.
Bro, it's so crazy as well, yeah? And this is the first time, maybe I'm wrong in it, but maybe they're very outward of where they do it. When you fly Emirates to Dubai as well, bro, they have basically a tourism guide on the plane.
Yeah.
What's on? It tells you the recent events in a calendar. What's going to be happening in the next 2 weeks in Dubai. Attractions. It tells you where you can go. Do this here, this here, this here. Like, it's full blown promotion. And you know they're closing the airport as well. Yeah, bro. Because ambition, bro. Aspiration. They're moving further south to Al Maktoum Airport, which is meant to be 5 times bigger.
Wow.
So by 2032. I believe it is. DXB is closing down. So the most traveled airport. But this is what ambition is. They're closing it down and moving to another airport that's 5 times bigger.
Think about it. Think about that. So, and that's the thing. Then they said, okay, let me do the box. So the point I'm saying is that, and the thing that when we did the wealth report, they were talking about is that in Abu Dhabi, the average 62% of their population is under age 30. Do you understand what that means? That means you've got young workers. You've got people with energy. In the UK, it's something like 20 something percent are under 30.
It's crazy.
Do you know what a problem that is?
It's the old.
You've got aging population, people who are not working. They're not able to add to the economy as much. They're more take from it through pensions and stuff like that. And then you haven't got the workforce putting money in, paying the taxes to be able to give. Creates a gap.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Because there creates a gap. That's why we're seeing the parking tickets. That's why we're seeing we're seeing council tax went up, road tax went up, gas and electricity went up, TV license went up. All the insurances have gone up. All at the same time. You're talking about paying more for no additional benefit.
This is the key thing. What you said is the key problem. Like, all of these taxes have gone up, and there's what feels like, to be fair, what is no additional, I said what feels like, I switched up. What is no additional benefit? Like, there's been no promises to improve on anything. If anything, we're still experiencing that things are getting worse effectively. And I know that tax is a big one that people speak about. And we've seen the stats. You said that success leaves clues, and we know that a lot of people are leaving the UK to places like the Middle East or moving to places like Portugal. So I want to ask a question. Do you think that tax alone is a big enough reason for you to leave the UK? Not
me personally. Tax is not enough. Tax is important. And again, it's not about the tax itself. It's about the lifestyle. If I was paying higher tax, and I felt safe, I felt secure, I felt like I could do business, I felt like I could see the benefits, man will pay.
Yeah.
I can't be paying this level of tax, one of the highest tax. Remember, I always have to compare so that we have comparisons. In America, their highest rate of before you pay their highest rate of tax, their highest rate of tax that they charge, which is similar to our highest rate of tax, you earn like 600k, 600,000 before you start. Before we start paying, the average salary in America is let's call it around 80,000. So we're talking a big gap, big multiple before you do it. Here in the UK, the average salary around 40k. But you start paying the highest rate of tax after 125k. That is only 3 times the average income.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So when you're paying one of the highest rates of tax because get me, no one's complaining. You never hear them complain about tax in Switzerland. They pay higher tax than us in Switzerland.
Yeah.
But the standard of living,
it's crazy.
The schools, work, the safety. Bro, you can't even walk with your mobile phone in your hand in London. Shops are getting robbed. Like I've watched Tesco get robbed, and the security, someone uncle wants to do what right, and the staff are saying, leave him,
and they should leave him as well,
and they should,
because it's brazy out here as well.
We've gone to the reason that a lot of people don't realize, a reason why a lot of like corner shops, the price has gone up, is because they put margin in for theft.
Yeah.
So whatever they get, they have an additional amount that they put on top of all products within there to cover for the fact that some of these products are going to get stolen. So the reason that things are costing so much is not just, we can't just blame the government, or we can't blame the government. What I'm saying is not just the government taxing us, it's because also the crime.
Yeah.
That's forced shops. So small businesses now have to worry about that. Do you understand? And then we've got roads, potholes everywhere. We've got traffic everywhere. We pay the highest level of for transport. We've got the highest transport in the world.
Yeah.
The cost in the world. Bro, yeah, you get in a train, somebody's on your front, someone's on your bum.
It's crazy.
Your face is in somebody's armpit. And you're all just there sweating after a long day at work.
Yeah, it's mad.
So when I saw who was I speaking to someone, they were telling me they get the train. There's a fast train from Ashford into, I think it goes into Stratford International.
Yeah,
the bullet train.
Yeah.
That train is £700 a month.
Sounds about right. Because I used to get it from Gravesend and it was £5.
£700 a month.
Yeah.
For train. So you're telling people, okay, go and buy a house cheaper. But now, if I add £700 a month to my rent, that's cheaper compared to if I lived local.
It's crazy. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Then
we got schools. The kids can't get into. The schools are overcrowded. The education is not even that great. Teachers can't even talk to So the reason I say all of this is that, for me, tax is
not a problem. It's how the taxes are used, basically.
It's not the problem.
Yeah, it's how the taxes are used.
Because when you look at, like I said, when you go to the Switzerlands and these types of places around, the cost is place is clean. Crime is low. When you go to the Middle East, bro, the Middle East, bro.
Yeah.
Leave your bag.
Yeah.
But why? Because also the laws are...
It's the culture. It's a culture that's been built by the laws.
The laws are there.
Yeah.
The laws are there. Your hand can get chopped off. You can't get put in prison. There's laws, like, you're not going to commit crime.
Yeah.
And actually also, if you need support and you're one of us, there's a set salary that means that you can live a decent life. We got people on benefits that are absolutely struggling, but if they work, they lose their benefits.
Yeah.
It doesn't even...
It gives no incentive to... No, let's strip it all the way back as well. Because that means that for the people that are middle class and above, and the people that are working class, and the people that are on benefits, it feels like at every level, there is no incentive to do better.
No, not here.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And that's the thing. You would think that they would want that. It's so mad. But then you go to somewhere, like one of the biggest things when I speak to people about being in the Middle East is just the mindset of people that you're now around. You're now around people who are adventurous, who want to do stuff, who want to build, who want to make money. I was speaking to Tomo, and he moved his family to Dallas. And my goodness, he's like, we're in a community. Everybody wants to help each other. He said, my kids play out on the street. I don't watch them. I don't have to look. We're in a community. I don't have to look whether the kids play out. When they finish school, they play out, they come in. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to worry. And he said, I can't even tell you the size of, when I talk about the size of my house. When he compares it to what because again, we're in London or in the UK thinking, wow, you go to someone's house, like, wow.
Yeah.
Especially when man's done the double reception. No, has got the frame.
With the bifold doors. With the bifold doors open out into the garden.
You've got the two reception into one. I'm like, wow, this is mad. He said, I can't tell you. Even when I looked at we got a brethren, E-man a building, he made good money through crypto, by the way.
Yeah.
Early, put man onto crypto early. He gave me a tour of his house. Man's got the stairs. He's in California. He's got the stairs that come down like this. Like in the movies.
Yeah.
Got the stairs. He's got a room that's got a piano just in it on its own.
His thing's crazy.
His thing.
You know what it is? Saying that he made money in crypto is an understatement.
No.
Because for the man that know crypto, if I say what his thing is, bro, they'll start DMing us, bro. If I say what chain his thing is, they'll start DMing.
His thing's next
bro,
level.
Yeah, so.
But the point being is that these men have made that money here in the UK.
Yeah.
Tom was one of the biggest investment. Once works for some of the biggest investment companies here in the UK.
Yeah.
But he had to leave because it's not about the tax. It wasn't a tax thing.
So it wasn't a tax thing, yeah.
It's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's like you want to be able
infrastructure, systems,
come on,
safety, convenience, and so on and so forth.
I'm paying all this money, bro. Why, when I leave my living room, go to the kitchen, there's no Wi-Fi? Are you well?
Yeah.
Even when man's got booster. Why am I driving and there's spots where there's no reception? Like, think about what we're dealing with here. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, yet you're paying the highest prices. So then you say to yourself, like, where can I go to make this make sense?
Yeah.
And that's why I just feel like if I was the government, like, I don't think anyone should pay tax under 25k. Yeah. That thing of 12 and a half. What's 12 and a half?
Yeah.
That thing's been 12 and a half for so long.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense.
The 12 and a half is no longer even 12 and a half.
It doesn't even make sense. To me, I think everyone should be able to make 25k. You make that, or let's say 24k, $2,000 a month. You make $2,000 a month. That first $2,000 you make should be tax free. That's your business. Then from there, 20% tax. But at 50k, you go into 40. That's absolutely ridiculous.
It's crazy.
What's 50k? You shouldn't really see 40 to me, that should be to 100.
Yeah, I think even higher,
I don't
40%.
I don't think you should see that. No, I agree.
But you know what it is? Sorry to jump in. The problem is that they can't undo it now because the piece that they were already getting, they've been squandering it. It's true, bro. It's true, they've been squandering it. The piece they were already getting, they've been squandering it. Like I always mention that track and trace nonsense and all these bits and pieces. So it's kind of like, now they need to keep that coming in. They even need more bread, bro.
Yeah, but that's why it's about efficiency. That's one thing. Listen, whatever you think about Donald Trump, he's a businessman. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Even Elon Musk, you might not like him. Do you know what? Do you know one of the reasons why Donald Trump uses Elon Musk so much? Because do you know how much America is paying to NASA to send things? They're paying billions into NASA. Elon Musk created a company that can send this thing up into the sky, land on. I don't know if you see the little two sticks that the thing lands on, and it lands.
And it lands back.
And it's not even. I don't think it's even 5% of the cost of what it takes to send a NASA spaceship into up and back. Elon Musk come in. What did they do? They realized that one of the coins that they had, I think it's the nickel or whatever that they have, it actually cost them, instead of the 1 cent, cost them 3 cents to make. Think about that.
Yeah.
To make a 1 cent coin, it cost them 3 cents.
Yeah.
So I said, we get rid of it. We don't need it. How many people are using it?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense. Or we find a cheaper metal or whatever. But it doesn't make sense. That's why, some of the coins that used to be gold and they stopped them being gold because it wasn't making sense.
Yeah.
So even one of the other things that Elon Musk did, because the reason I find all of this out is because I go to fund manager meetings. So when funds are making investments, this is the things that they get research on to find out. And this is why the S&P 500 does so well. All this stuff because of the stuff that they do in America. So in America, for example, because each territory is like its own country, right?
Yes.
So they all have their own laws and rules.
Yeah.
So they're like, so much regulations are passed locally, then you've got the ones nationally that actually nothing gets done.
Yeah.
So he's hired Elon to say, I want you to go in and look at all the and then just tell us which ones do we not need, which ones. And people are just getting, don't know, see man getting made redundant.
Yeah,
things
yeah.
It's all efficiency.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest problems here. Like you said, man are so used to being inefficient.
Yeah.
That I can't
You can't stop this bread coming in.
Because the outgoings are going to be the same.
Yeah, the outgoings are already too brazy. Like, we've already here now, innit?
So we're here now. But like you said, really and truly, before these men should wake up and say they want to take 40%, it should be 200K.
Yeah.
Like, it should be we should be 200K. Like, okay, if you can make 200K, then anything above 200K, we want 40% of that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you woke up in the morning to, like, you're giving your 20%. It's adding to the system.
Bro, the thing is, like, the 40% tax makes it seem like, all right, cool, you've got a good amount that you can start sharing 40%. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, 50,000, it needs to be relative with how the country is. And £50,000, for a lot of people, you're not even able to buy somewhere to live. Sometimes you might even struggle to rent somewhere. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's crazy.
And then when you really think about it, like, governments they're in a prime position to make P.
Yeah.
They control stuff.
Yeah.
So like you said, you got trains. You can have advertisement on there. You can innovate. You can work with corporate companies to leverage you don't need to make it from the people.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There are companies that want to sell to the people, that want to get access to the people. You have the people.
Yeah.
You should be having partnerships with corporate brands that want to allow yourself to make money from those brands that are already making money.
Yeah.
And then use that to make the country and the system and the software and everything better. Instead, you're trying to make all the money from the people, and we're suffering it.
It's crazy.
So it's so important. So yeah, for me, it's like being in that room, like that wealth report really made me understand why people are moving more, but also the fact that there's money everywhere. Don't let this UK fool you.
Yeah.
There's money everywhere.
Yeah.
Tax is a problem, but tax is not your main problem.
It's not your main problem. And look into those other bits and pieces to see.
What about you? How do you feel? Obviously, especially you specialize in property, and property, one of the biggest things that as a financial advisor, I always tell my clients is property is a great investment, but it's easy taxed. You're taxed when you buy it. You're taxed when you rent it. You're taxed when you when you sell it. And then on top of that, now they're looking to partner up the council tax so that your council tax is relative to the value.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure they're gonna do that though.
You don't think so?
Nah, I'm not sure they're gonna do that.
Sure they
I think that property's got bare stuff that they say they're gonna do, even like when it comes to rent caps and all these bits and pieces. But yeah, what you said is important, and I think that for myself and for everybody else that's listening, with all of these things, it's just education.
Yeah.
Like I've said on many occasions that the first few of my properties were bought in our own names, myself and Antoinette. And that's because the tax rules weren't that detrimental at the time, isn't it? But then it changed. But then I pivoted as well because I then became self-employed. So I don't actually earn anything. So you get what I'm trying to say? It balances that. What you mentioned about you're taxed when you bought, that's something I couldn't get around, but you're taxed when you sell. I don't sell property. You know what I'm trying to say? I refinance it. When I refinance it, I pull out the equity via a loan.
Yeah.
The loan is being serviced by how the property is being rented out, and that's also an expense itself.
Yeah.
If it's in a property, if it's in a company name, and then that loan is not taxable because it's actually debt that's coming out. So it's all about being educated and working it to your personal circumstance effectively. So yeah, that's kind of like how I'm navigating it, and yeah, it's been cool, man.
So what were the main drivers for you then in regards to looking at spending some time here, spending some time abroad, and so forth?
Yeah, main drivers for me was, there's quite a few, but I think one of the main ones in this instance, and the one that I'd share, not that I'd share, but I'd share all of them, but specifically for this podcast, which I think people would benefit from, is environment.
Yeah, environment.
Yeah. I'm going to make it relative to what we just spoke about. 40% is higher rate taxpayer.
Mm-hmm.
So you're paying a higher rate on £50,000. The UK tricked us into thinking £50,000 is high.
Big trick.
£50,000 is not high. It's not high, and we know and let's be honest. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's nothing, but we know it's not high because on £50,000, if it was high, If it was a high salary, you'd be able to do everything that you can do with £50,000.
Yeah.
But typically nowadays, with £50,000 in any major city in the UK, you can struggle to raise a family. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it wasn't always like that.
No.
But the thing is, wages have been stagnant. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So environment changes is massive, because now you're around people that talk about doing £50,000, not even in a month. That's an understatement. Maybe in a week. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you need to broaden your horizon. And I know sometimes that you might hear that kind of stuff and you might say that, oh yeah, being around the right people and blah, 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 it doesn't do anything. It really does. And I think that there's so many tangible examples of where that is true, that your surroundings does have an impact on you. Even with ourselves, basically, that it has an impact on you. Even for you that listen to this podcast frequently, you might be finding that when you go into other circles, you're realizing that, you know what, I'm not actually thinking like that anymore. I'm thinking like what we're talking about on this podcast. So how much more so moving your whole country, your whole environment, where in the Middle East, as a government that's aspirational. I spoke about the fact that they already had, quote unquote, the best airport.
Yeah.
They're opening another one. And they're getting so big that they're not open, they're not keeping both open. They're shutting down, quote unquote, the best airport or the most traveled airport, and saying that we're going 5x in it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, think about that. It's crazy, bro. So it's
when we're trying to fight to get one runway,
years and years of planning, But yeah, it's just one of those things. And I think that, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other things that went into it. Schools, safety, convenience, weather is a massive one.
Of course.
And don't get me wrong, and look, we've spoken about it many times, but there are huge benefits of the UK as well.
Yeah, of course.
One thing I love about the UK, which a lot of people need to know, is that you can make something of yourself here, right?
Yeah.
If you get an education, and you've got some grit and some graft, you can build, innit?
Yeah.
But once again, going back to the point that we mentioned, that it's so crazy that sometimes I feel like I had a lot of foresight, because I remember, like, it was very, very interesting. I was talking to Antonetta a lot, and I was like, listen. For a lot of people, like, you get to £50,000, just get a side hustle. Like, just get a side hustle, because the incremental wages that you earn are just being eroded away, basically. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So build a business on the side, and education. You can run some of your day-to-day expenses, if it's eligible, through that business. That can reduce your actual tax liability. So yeah, man, that's like my main thoughts around it, man.
No, I love that. What you're saying is so true. And I think sometimes we have such a negative effect on money, right? So when we say, like you said, people are having 50,000 days, £50,000 weeks, it sounds so disgusting to us, because we're talking about money. But let's put in other. We've all had. I remember when I used to play basketball, for example. When I first started, I was the worst at basketball in my group. But playing with them at their level and getting battered every day, within a year, I was one of the best. Within 2 years, I was the best.
And within a week, you're the best from all your friends that did play basketball.
Do you understand?
And that's the key thing to know, innit? Within a week, you're the worst of them.
Yeah.
But because they're skilled, all of a sudden, any normal person you come across in basketball, you're whooping them.
Exactly. So it's so important to understand that this. And then when we talk money, it makes it feel like...
It makes it feel yucky.
Yucky. People having £50,000 days and people don't even have food to eat. I get it. But the reality is that when you are around people and their minimum is your maximum, your maximum changes.
Yeah.
Like you
say that again. When you're around people and your maximum is their minimum, your maximum changes.
It has to change, bro.
Yeah.
It has to change. Like, and that happens in anything. If you're in education, if you're someone that always gets C's, but you're now around people that get A's, I promise you, you will start getting A's.
Yeah.
Because you're around them.
Yeah.
You know it's possible.
Yeah.
You start doing what they're doing, putting in the time that they're putting in, and you'll get that result. Obviously, it might mean that now you've got less time playing computer, or you got less time for other things. But if the goal and the focus is to get A's, you will get that.
Yeah.
And so it's so important to understand, for me, is that the reason one of the reasons why I love to spend time with yourself is that, for me, you are someone that I've identified on this planet that you are so aspirational, and you are someone that you don't, no one can tell you, I'm not doing something, you can't do something. If you want to do it, you're going to find a way to do it. Like, even like you now living abroad and coming, Bro, I remember when we first had this conversation.
Oh yeah.
I'm still here deliberating. Am I gonna go? When am I gonna go? Bro, you've done experience and come back, and now you're living best of both worlds. Do you understand? And you're making it work. And let's be honest, it's not like it's perfect. It's not like sometimes man will say, I'll wait till I've got exactly the right piece. I've got all the connections. I've gone 100 times. They know me over there. When I step on the ground, bro, sometimes you gotta be there.
Yeah, you gotta just get on the ground, boots on the ground. You just gotta take action. Sometimes waiting for perfection is the biggest mistake you can make.
But you still kept to your commitment. Imagine a man said, I'm doing this podcast. I'm on a flight. Like, you guys, when a man says, and this is what I say I rate, I can't tell you enough, like, I rate you so much, bro.
I appreciate you, bro.
Not many certain man will just start telling me, yo, man, can't we do this on StreamYard or one of these? And like, man, bro, and just ruin the whole, just ruin it.
Just ruin the whole something.
The whole thing, like, do you understand? All in the name of I need to save, or I'm not here no more, or whenever I come back. This is a weekly thing. Yeah. Man will say, okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it in batches, and then we'll just, figure it out. Yeah. We'll film every now and again. We'll be talking about topics 6 months later. Do you know what I mean? So it's so important. You said, look, I've committed to doing this. I'm going to do this. So I want to make it work. And I'm going to take that cost and that expense additional to the cost and expense of paying for what we pay for, like on top to make sure this happens. But I'm going to make sure I leverage this and make it make sense. And so for me, when I've got these types of people in my life, I know that the way I'm going to walk, the way I'm going to think, the way I'm going to move is going to be different. So when it's time for me to say I'm going to move, whatever country it's going to be, I know I can do it because people around you
have done it, and it's super important,
and it's worked for them.
Yeah,
do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Important. It's super important.
So for people at home that are listening to this, like, really work out what is it that you want for yourself. Even if you don't know the exact job, if you just know you want to be more ambitious, start going to entrepreneurial breakfasts, lunches. Start going to property events. Start going to investment events. Start just putting yourself around people that have the same mindset as you. If it's something that you want, if you do know what you want, like you want to get into STEM, whatever, if it's something industry, be in that industry, be around events, everything, like Google search. Bruv, you know, when I was really on this, bruv, I'll go on Eventbrite, I'll just type in finance. I'll just go to other people's finance events.
Yeah.
I want to know what men are offering. I want to know what men are talking about, what their structure is, how do they get engagement, what do people think? I want to sit in the audience and be like, what do you think about this? And them say, no, this is boring. Oh, why? So that when I do mine, I know that I'm delivering. Sometimes you just got to be in it, bro.
And Eman, I'm going to go even further as well, yeah? And this is something that I stand by as well. If you went to one of those finance events, if I was you and I went to one of those finance events and didn't gain anything, I'd still walk away with a smile. Do you know why? Because I realised that in order to be successful, you just need to be doing stuff and trying stuff that other people aren't doing.
Bro.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like sometimes when you're just doing something, and it feels a little bit uncomfortable, but just remind yourself that when you're doing stuff that other people aren't willing to do, that's where the success lies, basically.
Bro, and when man tell you success leaves clues, if you know that, for example, Tesco will send mystery shoppers to Asda, to Sainsbury's, to work out what's their customer service like, what's their prices like, what are they offering, what deals are they doing.
Big Tesco.
These are $1 million, $1 billion companies that are moving like this.
Yeah.
Then why are we not doing market research?
Yeah.
Then you wonder why did they get that brand deal? Why can they do an event and 100 people will buy a ticket, but I do an event I can only get 10?
Yeah.
Like, and most of them are my family members.
Yeah.
You're not going to find out. It's so important to go out and find out and put yourself out there. Like networking, understanding what's going on. You got to be in the room. You got to be about.
Absolutely. And the final thing I end on as well, I want people to bet big on yourself as well, man. Like with the aspirational, make it tangible. So write down what your goal is on a piece of paper, a whiteboard, and try and figure out tangible steps it takes to get there. Like Ima mentioned, like STEM. Like some of us are saying, hey, I want to get to STEM, I want to get to STEM. What does that actually look like?
Come on.
Like maybe note down a number of events that you need to go to, and then maybe write down tangible steps, a minimum amount of people that you want to initiate a conversation with at each of these events. And then maybe have a job title in mind that you want to get into first. Like make everything tangible so that there are action points that you should be taking. You've got deliverables to yourself.
Bro, what you just said is so important. I don't want people to miss it. Because for me, if you said you want to be in study, see me, I'm in finance. If you go on my YouTube, you'll see finance. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see the people I follow, they're in finance.
Yeah.
If you look at my events, the places I go, it's in finance.
Yeah.
Man lives and breathes this. So I have to keep a pulse on it. I have to. Do you understand? If you're saying STEM, I need to know what's the last book you read. What's the last video you watched? What's the last? What are the things that you're? Who are the calls you're making?
Yeah.
Who are the people you're following? Because sometimes, again, you're only gonna find out about stuff by being in and around it.
Yeah.
So actually, if I've got 4 or 5 influencers in the things that I want to do, and I follow them, and I know events that they're going, they talk about the events they're gonna go to, then I go and buy a ticket.
Yeah.
So I can be there. And guess what? Sometimes what's mad, and people don't do this enough. I get it, but people don't do it enough. Is that say like a man's going black? I saw you at the Black Business Show. Do you have some tickets? I do, you know. Take. E-man, you know what? I saw that you're speaking at this event. I'd love to come to this event. I actually can't afford this event. Can I? You know how much times I said, listen, you're just gonna come as my camera person. As long as you can just hold a phone, do some social media, you're in for free.
Yeah.
Man, have come in and learned for free.
Yeah.
Something that was £150, £200 ticket
to get in.
Yeah. Now they're getting for free.
Backstage.
All because they reached out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're now They're now backstage. I'm not introducing.
They're now other people,
having conversations with people that normally they'll just sit in the audience and watch.
Yeah.
This is because someone's shown the desire that actually I wanna do better. I wanna change my situation, and if I can help, I will help. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes people are, XYZ, and they're doing an event. Can you? One phone call. All I can do is try. I'll just phone. Yo, you're doing an event. One of my followers really wants to come. But remember, this follower that's asking me, they've commented on all my posts. I see every time I post, I see a comment, I see a like, I see they DM me. Every time I put something in my stories, they message. So I feel obliged to try and support.
Yeah.
Not that this is the first time we've ever communicated. Even when I click on you, Eman, can you help me do? I click on you, don't even follow, man. You know when I've get people ask me paragraphs.
Yeah.
You don't even follow, man.
Yeah.
Which is free.
Yeah.
Yet you want me to give you this.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Everyone's been there.
I'm like,
it happens so much. It's crazy.
Sometimes I'll just do it because I'm like, you know what? Your situation is dire. You need it. I'm just gonna help. I'm just gonna close my eyes. Other times I'm just like, bro, you're not serious. You're not serious. I'm gonna give you the information. You're not gonna do nothing with it. So you're not serious. But the point being is the intention.
Yeah.
We gotta be intentional with this stuff.
Yeah.
So if you know you want to change the situation, who are you networking with? Who are you following? Who are you seeing? Like we had Lamade talking about the fact that she watched American stuff.
Yeah, very intentional.
Very intentional.
Strategy.
She watched American podcasts. She watched greatness, and now she's delivering greatness. Like she was able to have the confidence to do stuff because she purposely chose to watch other things.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. That's free.
Yeah. Facts.
That's free. Let's put down the shade, brother. Let's put that. Like, you understand?
It's in the shade, brother.
Let's put it down, and let's pick up some things that are actually going to get us to where we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Because those things will always be there. You can always gossip will never stop.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You can always go and watch that. But what we're trying to talk about is where you're at now. How do you get to where you want to be? How do you get to the life that you say you want for yourself?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to tell yourself you don't really want it.
Chai, that's a deep one for you guys to ponder on.
Come on.
But guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. I've definitely enjoyed being here.
Yeah, man.
E-man, do you want to drop your W and L in the week?
Yeah, my W, I'd say my W, to be honest, is just being able to really rap with Tayo this time, because obviously we talk when he's traveling, but it's always WhatsApp. Tayo is a WhatsApp man. He loves type. I'm old school. I like talk. And I know Tayo. He'd be saying message something. I'll be like, let me just call him. He won't even answer. I'd be like, bro, I can't talk right now. I'm just I'm like, bro, you know, you type this thing. It's gonna take me 15 minutes to type this response. But now, like, I know voice note, but sometimes I press the button, I leave the voice note halfway through, it cuts out.
Long.
It's long, but like just being able to spend time with you, my bro, it's been that has to be the W. Like it's been a pleasure. You've re-energized me again. So yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. That's the W.
Appreciate you, bro.
I think the L is just, life is hard, bro. I think the L is just, just like obviously kids' school. Like we've had a lot of things with the kids' schooling and stuff like that, and not getting into the school that we particularly want and stuff like that because the schools weren't out. So trying to sort all of that out, and that's just part of life.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, these are the things that's just pushing man even more to want to move. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, if I can't even get the education for the kids, then what am I really doing here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that's there. But yeah, but that's probably the L. We didn't get the school we wanted. We're appealing and stuff like that. But yeah, that's life, man.
Yeah, I guess that's how things go sometimes, man. I would say that my W is there's some things I wanted to implement at the beginning of the year. One of them was just being able to pray and read my Bible every day.
Love
and
that.
I'm doing that a lot of the days, and I'm definitely seeing the change in me.
Yeah.
So very happy about that. And then I'd say my L is that L is that I'm in London without the family, innit? So even though I get to see all my peoples there in London, the family's not here, innit? So the L is being away from my family, even though it's for a short period of time.
Yeah, man.
We see you reunite.
Come on.
So yeah, that's me, man.
Come on, man.
Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Please comment, stay in the conversation, do it live as you're listening. I know some of you watching on television. If you're watching on the television, just whip out your phone while you're watching. Comment. There's no shame in commenting 3 times, you know. At the 13-minute timestamp, 16 and 19 minutes. Why not? So yeah, make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Yo, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Love, man.